So informational text, that's what many kinds of matter is. It's an informational text, a nonfiction text. Often use words from science and social studies. What do you think these words are from for many kinds of matter? Is it science or social studies? What do you think, Corbin?
Science.
Science. To tell about a topic. So how can I figure out what these words mean? So if you get to a word in a book that's about science or social studies, how do you know what they mean? Well, you can look at text features like a title and a heading. You can look at the pictures to give you clues. You can ask and answer questions. Or you can use the words around the sentence to help you figure it out. So that's what we're going to do. Or you can look in a dictionary if you're not sure what the word means. Okay? So we have several words that I told you about already here. We have amount. Amount means how much. So each of these glasses have different amounts of orange juice in their cups. Chase, turn your body around, please. Thank you. Material. We use materials to make things. So your desk is made out of different materials. Your clothes is made out of materials. Your masks are made out of materials. Space. Space is something that occupies something. So there is space here, or these books are taking up space. Example means a kind of. So banana is an example of fruit. Banana is a kind of fruit. Easily. Easily means something that can be done with little effort. So I can easily count to 5. Forms. Forms of pasta are in this picture. Forms are kinds of. Planet. Our Earth is a planet. We take care of our Earth. And tasty. Tasty is something that is good. So this pizza is tasty. Okay, so open up to many kinds of matter in your book, if you aren't already there. Many of you already are. We're going to talk about the different ways to understand content area words in our story here. Okay, so matter is everywhere. Let's turn to this page. Yes. Okay, set it on your desk and I'll get you a new one in a minute. Okay, go get your other one. Matter is everywhere. Matter is anything that has mass and volume. Mass is the amount of material in an object. Volume is the amount of space an object takes up. So we maybe didn't know what space means. We could look around here at the words. Is the amount of space an object takes up. Well, space must mean takes up, right? Takes up air. Like our bodies take up space because they take up air. Okay, so that would help us know what space means. There are 3 kinds of matter. The 3 kinds of matter are solids, liquids, and gases. Solids. Books, rocks, and toys are solids. Solid matter holds its own shape. Solids do not take the shape of their container. Marbles fill a jar, but the marbles are still round. So here's a caption. Point to that caption. Books are one example of a solid. Point to this caption. The shape of solids does not change when you put them in a container. Okay, so how are solids the same? It says solids here as our heading. So I wonder how all solids are the same. What do we know about every solid? Because I may not know what the word solid means. So what do I know by reading here on these pages, this page, what a solid is? Gracie? Okay, does it say that on there? I want you to use something that the book tells me. Because this is where I'm understanding what it means by what the book tells me. Kate?
It says it holds its own shape.
Right. So let's underline that sentence. Get your pencil and underline that sentence. Solid matter holds its own shape. Okay, let's see if we can find something else to underline about solids here. Solids are not easy to compress. Compress means to squeeze something into a tight space. Bottles and cans are solids. It's not easy to squeeze them into this recycling bin. So what do we learn about solids here? What can help us understand the word solids? What do we learn, Emma?
Solids are not easy to compress.
Okay, let's underline that. Okay, so another thing we learned about solids is they are not easy to compress. So we said we were going to underline those. So now we can understand what the word solids means. We use the clues in our story, right? We know that solids means it holds its own shape, and we know that solids means it is not easy to compress. Compress means squeeze. It's really hard to squeeze a solid like a desk or a building, okay, or a rock, yes. Okay, solids, oh, here's something else we can learn about solids. Turn the page. Solids do not flow. Solid candies don't spread across ice cream the way hot fudge sauce does. Let's point to the caption here. Candy sprinklers are solids. They do not flow over ice cream. So what do I learn here about solids that helps me understand what the word solid means? Corbin?
That sprinkles don't spread across ice cream like hot fudge.
Okay, but what do we learn about solids? That's just one kind of solid. What's that first sentence say?
Solids do not flow.
Yes, because not all solids are sprinkles, right? No. So all solids do not flow. So let's underline that sentence. Let's underline that sentence. Solids do not flow. So now we've learned 3 things from our book that helped me understand the word solids. That they do not flow, they hold their own shape, and they're easy to compress. Okay, let's go to the next heading. What are we going to learn about on these pages? Lily? Liquids. That's what that heading does. It tells me what I'm going to learn on these next pages. So this has liquids. Oil, syrup, and water are liquids. Liquid matter does not hold its own shape. Liquids take the shape of their container. Water inside a swimming pool takes on the shape of the pool. Let's point to this caption. Oil is one example of a liquid. Now the other caption. Water in a square pool takes on a square shape. Now, if I never heard of the word liquids, what is something on this page that would tell me what liquid means? Wyatt? Yes, liquid matter does not hold its own shape. Let's underline that. Liquid matter does not hold its own shape. Underline that sentence. And I think the next sentence is kind of important too to help me understand what liquid is. Liquids take the shape of their container. So let's underline both of those sentences. We're going to underline these two because next week this will help us with science when we learn about matter and science. That's another reason why we're underlining this to help us remember what these words mean. Okay. The first 2 sentences, Chase, you need to listen to us. Okay, turn the page. Let's learn more about liquids. We haven't got to a new heading yet, so we're still learning about liquids. Liquids are not easy to compress. Milk is a liquid. You couldn't fit the milk in a jug into the little carton. Liquids flow. Liquid syrup spreads across pancakes. So there's 2 things on this page that helps me know what the word liquid means. What's one of the things they told me? Emma?
The big jug of milk won't fit in a little carton.
It did tell me that, but that's not for all liquids. That's just an example.
Oh.
So what's something that all liquids... Right. Liquids are not easy to compress. Oh, solids aren't either. So they're the same that way. They both are not easy to compress. If you try to compress this jug of milk, it'd make a big mess, wouldn't it? Yes. So underline that. Liquids are not easy to compress. Underline that sentence.
It would explode took a bottle of root beer real far, and it would just go.
Okay, what else happened on this page about all liquids? There was one other thing. Isaiah?
Liquids flow.
Right, liquids flow. Solids don't flow, but liquids flow. That means if you were to put the milk on a table, it would float all across the table. If you put chocolate syrup on ice cream, it would flow all over the ice cream. So underline that sentence, liquids flow. Underline that sentence, liquids flow. Okay, now we're going to a new heading. Now we're going to a new heading. So what am I going to learn about now? What new word am I going to learn about now, Heather? Gases. There's my heading. And it says air, steam, and your breath are gases. Gas matter does not hold its own shape. Gases take the shape of their container. The air inside a hot air balloon takes on the shape of the balloon. Your breath is one example of a gas. What did I learn about gases? All gases here. What did I learn, Xavier? Right, that first sentence. Gas matter does not hold its own shape. Just like a liquid, right? They both don't hold their own shape. Let's do the next sentence too. Gases take the shape of their container. Gas matter does not hold its own shape. Nope. Gases take the shape of their container. Hey, so let's go to the next thing. Grace, remember what we talked about outside? Gases are easy to compress. Carbon dioxide is a gas. It's inside the soda cans. It's squeezed into the cans to give the soda bubbles. So point to the caption. Carbon dioxide rushes out of soda cans when you open them. Gases flow. The air inside a bubble spreads to fill the space inside the bubble. So I learned two things on these pages about gases, and lets me know what the word gases means. Emsley? Right. Gases are easy to compress. Just like, oh no, liquids and solids aren't easy to compress. So the only one is gas. So underline that sentence. Gases are easy to compress. And then one more. Grant. Okay, but all bubbles, gases are different, just bubbles. Bubbles are just one kind of gas. So I want to know all gases. What do all gases do? Gracie? Yes, gases flow. Just like liquids flow, gases flow. If we put a liquid in a bowl, it's going to flow through the whole bowl. If we put a gas in a balloon, it's going to fill up the whole balloon. Okay? Matter and changes. We're just going to read the rest of it right now. Matter can change from one kind to another. Some solids can change to liquids. Some liquids can change to gases. Water is a special kind of matter. You know that water is a liquid, but it can easily be found in all three forms on our planet. The liquid in this cup is changing to a gas in the steam. Water becomes a solid if it is cooled. It turns into ice. Water turns into ice when it freezes. Water freezes when it reaches a temperature of 32 degrees Fahrenheit. Water becomes a gas if it is heated. It turns into steam. Water turns into steam when it boils. Water boils when it reaches a temperature of